Good morning, everybody. This is a special day. Just like last year, we're going to make this an annual event. We're going to go over some of the new and exclusive one-of-one models, and they also released some new for the next upcoming year guitars from Deviser. Deviser are a factory that makes several different brands in Nagano, Japan. You may know them from this channel because we have a silver Jaguar style instrument from Momose. That's one of their most premium brands. And we have two 77 guitars. We have the Stork Custom that looks like a black Les Paul Custom, except it's more like a Cloud 9 Gibson custom shop as far as how it's built inside. And the 77 Stork, or no, the 77 Albatross, which is the one that we have that last year I said was the best guitar I got out of all of them in that year. And I love it. It is fantastic. So I'm really excited. We're going to be checking out what they have on offer this year. Before we do so, I just want to give you guys a few heads up on what you can expect to see. This is a one-day guitar show, meaning most of them are going to be pretty outlandish finishes. These are one-of-one guitars. A lot of them will be on the premium end, and I just find it interesting. However, again, we will see some, hopefully we see some production models. I didn't really scan too deep into this today, but it should be cool. It should be fun. I know not a lot of people on YouTube, especially that speak English, cover this brand, and I do love them. So, good morning, Tony. How are you? Now, I made sure that the audio is pretty loud. Hopefully it's coming through to you. If it is coming through to you, let me know. Let me just check something real quick. It is coming through. Awesome. So we can get right into this and we'll get going. We'll try not to spend too much time on bass guitars. I know that you guys don't love bass guitars, but some of them are pretty cool. So let's go. We're at the landing page, and this is just their kind of slow shots. All right. So these are the brands that we have to go over today. Headway, which are acoustic guitars. Sakura Ukulele, which is their 1-year anniversary because these were released at the last 1-year guitar show of 2022. I don't know how much time we'll be giving those today, but I would like to give them a quick look. Bacchus, which are really well known. Momose, premium stuff. That 77 already looks incredible. And then Special Spec from Deviser, which is their own house brand, followed by the premium collection where we might find some really wild stuff as far as finishes and wood selections. So we'll do a quick look at the acoustic guitars. See if they did anything new. The Eagle. It's a new evolution in bracing and structure design. Long time release of the model. It's a new series. Okay, so tell me about it. 330,000 yen. And they're team built. 18 of each of these, 15 of these. But what makes them different? Oh, that's really cool. Man. So this is the limited edition models of the Eagle. Those aren't even that much more expensive, so it's only 50,000 yen more. Like $350 roughly, depending on translation. And these are their typical kind of models that they normally would have, but a bit more expensive. Let's click on one of these and see if it'll tell us any more information. So Adirondack spruce, Indian rosewood with koa is the centerpiece. The neck is African mahogany, ebony, bone nut, 25.4 inch scale length. That's kind of strange. Normally it's 25.5. And Goto and all that fun stuff. But what makes this different? Might just be the actual finishing of it. I'm no acoustic guitar expert, and I didn't plan on them having a new thing. Okay, so it's a new bracing. All right. We will revisit this after the electric guitars because I'm out of my depth here and I'm going to be talking out of my butt and wasting time. Let's go to Bacchus. Bacchus are a lot. You're going to find a lot of bass guitars, which that's actually really beautiful. I like how they did that. That's really nice. So it's a semi-hollow body jazz bass. There are 20 of these, so these will be a little bit more common. So yeah, cherry blossom top on the body, alder, a maple neck, ebony fingerboard, bone nut. Does this come with? No, this has the Bacchus branded pickups, so they're done in house. All Goto hardware, a 34-inch scale length with a pull up on the electrics. But geez, man, the Woodline series has been around for a long time, but this is a really nice way for them to do like their equivalent of a special run. That is absolutely amazing. I would love a Telecaster in that kind of appointments. All right, so that was that. Outside of that, ooh, a T-Master. Speaking of Telecasters, 6 of these guys. And after this, after we do Bacchus, I'll check in on the chat, see how you guys are doing. So exotic cedar wood for the top, mahogany body, maple neck, flame maple neck, and a rosewood board. And this also has the Bacchus pickups. What we're going to notice is once we leave Bacchus and we go to Momose, that's when we're going to have American pickups in it. But all of the other components will be American on these guitars as far as the switches, the output jack, and the pots, which is pretty cool, and a lacquer finish, which is good. And this is the typical Telecaster 25.5-inch scale length. Interesting, and it doesn't have the typical headstock. This is kind of a little bit of a different, but ooh, really pretty. And no neck plate. It's all recessed in, so very modern. Very modern. That's a beaut. That's a beaut. And these are the Japan tune-up series. Now, what they've done with these, man, these are no longer made in America. Or Japan, sorry. Still early. I apologize. These are their affordable budget lines. These are made in Indonesia. 120,000 yen is fairly cheap. I'm not going to dig too deep into these because it looks like the only tune-ups are bass guitars. All right. So, I really think we're at the end here with Bacchus. We are. Okay. Let me go into the chat real quick. We'll say hello to everybody. We'll make sure everything is going okay in the stream. Good morning to Martian, to Funky Angel, Rummy. Good morning, Larry. Nice bass. Yeah, there's some pretty cool stuff. We haven't made it to the real crazy stuff yet. The real crazy stuff is going to be in the Momose. That's where we might find some nut stuff. But really, the premium collection. That's the good stuff. But if you're sitting here looking for traditional colors, they offer them, but they don't typically show these at the guitar shows. But they do offer them. All right. Let's go on back here. So before I go to Momose, I got to see this 77. Now, I mentioned earlier, I have both of these models. Jeez. These are albatrosses. Those are some of the nicest tops I have seen. So you have one with humbuckers and one with P90s. And they're the same price, 345,000 yen. There are 6 of each. Oof. If I didn't have this, I'd be in trouble. So Flame Tochi, mahogany body with a mahogany neck, an ebony fingerboard, Mojo Tone. Yep. Mojo Tone 77 humbucker, and all Goto hardware. These scale length on these are 1/4 of an inch shorter than on a Gibson, so it provides a little bit more of a slinky-ish feeling. I really enjoy it on the one I have, and a traditional 53 millimeter nut, which I believe comes out to 1.675 inches roughly. But man, oh man. That's a beaut. You might not love pink, but it is. That's stunning, dude. And if you're ever curious how they were made, this is how they do it. So you just have this one block that doesn't go all the way to the bottom of the guitar, like on some models that do this stuff. This is just right in the middle, and you would have your hardware go on top here, and then all the electronics would mount towards the top once it's done, and you'd be set to go. But it really is such a resonant and incredible sounding instrument, and they're very light. These will come in at anywhere from just over 6 pounds to under 6 pounds. That is a beautiful instrument. That is. All right, and we don't need to click on the P90 one because it's the same thing except P90s. And then the Storks, we have the same thing. We clicked on the humbucker one last time. Let's go ahead and we'll click on the P90 one. These, there only are 6 of, and they have P90s. This is such a ridiculous top. The flame on that is nuts. They really picked like the best possible kind of a top to match here on both sides, because that is just stunning. Now the Stork again has the same. Oh no, it's not going to show it. It has a really similar internal design to the Albatross, but the shape is more traditional, and this one has the trapeze tailpiece on it instead of a stop tail. I prefer a stop tail. You could always convert it, Larry Carlton mod, and the 77 extra bottle that I had, a standard 2, I bought that and it was already converted to that. So it's doable, but on an instrument that nice, I'm not drilling any holes into it. Kind of unfortunate that they're only offering it in the trapeze, but that is what it is. And finally, this is an affordable one. This is another Japan tune-up, I'm assuming. Yeah, it is. That's kind of a cool color, though. What I like about these are, I had a blue version, it's not a version of this guitar, it's kind of a similar place that it was made. So there's 60 of these, 165,000 yen, but you're getting a guitar that is completely finished off in Japan, and the important parts are done there. When I say that, it means all the fretwork is done in Japan. The setup is done in Japan. The bow nut is cut in Japan. So you're not going to have some of the quality control that you have with a lot of other Indonesian-made guitars where you have no idea if or who set the thing up before it got put into a box. You also get a hard shell case with this, I'd be willing to bet. Good money. Yeah, you do. Really nice finish. Oh, this has 77 ALS5 pickups in it. That's really nice. That's really nice. It's a bit of an upgrade. So maple, micarta on the fingerboard, and Kluson tuners, Kluson. But very traditional, and there's only P90s with this guitar. Oh, that's why so they called it the Finch because of the zebra finch, his favorite bird. It's a little too Paul Reed Smithy, but at least that bird's cute. And these guitars are good. There we go. Okay. I think that's going to be it for 77. It is. Okay. 1 second here. I'm just making sure I have what I need on this end. Check in with the chat. Are the Albatross like 339 limited for upper access? They're similar in that aspect. So for me, I was right at home. But for somebody who needs to get to that 22nd fret with ease, probably not the best guitar for that. Let's see what the standard line. This is going to be weird because you're going to look at some of these tops and you're going to think this is the standard line of Momose. So we have Tochi, which is horse chestnut. This was similar to last year. 6 of each. Like, these are the really traditional designs. These are the really traditional ones. We'll click on the Jazzmaster because we like offsets. 6 of each one of these guitars. So it's a flamed horse chestnut body with a regular horse chestnut, or top rather, on a regular horse chestnut Tochi body. Maple neck, Madagascar rosewood, really good rosewood. And Momo say pickups. So these are another one of their house ones, and the rest of the hardware is Goto. Pretty standard for the rest of it. Let's take a look at the guitar, though. That's beautiful. And they're not lying about that, about Madagascar rosewood becoming increasingly rare. There are different grades of rosewood. There's different grades of mahogany. There's different grades of everything, and they all come from different kind of areas sometimes, and people could get confused and mistake them all for being the same. It's not always the case. But that's a pretty nice guitar. I like that. So all of these are limited to 6 for this year, and you have your traditional 5 Fenders. There's no Jaguar, I've noticed. So you have a Strat with a 6-point tremolo, a Telly, 3 saddle bridge, correct decision, Jazzmaster, P bass and a J bass. Oh no, just 2 Ps. Or no, 2 Js rather. 2 jazz basses. Huh. Only one's a 5-string. And the Virtuoso series, these are more modern kind of guitars. So 24 frets on the one Strat, that's an HSH. A Telly, that's an HSH with a trem, a 2-point trem. That's freaking wild. That just looks weird. That looks so weird. So it's actually got a hip shot machine heads on it and a Goto 510. The 510 is what come on Sir instruments as well. I just want to see that. Yeah, that I don't know. Like, kudos for trying something a little different here, but I don't like HSH on a Strat, on a Telly. This is that's a trip. That's a trip. But that looks good. That actually looks like it has a little bit of purple in it. Sorry, I'm like a kid in a candy store right now. It is. So it's like a purple to blue gradation on that. That also has a Goto 510. Really cool stuff. Really, really cool stuff. I would love to see the video of them putting one of these together, especially the paint. Man. And now these are the cherry blossoms, the Sakura. They do these every year, and they do them in different finishes. It looks like this year they went with kind of a brownish. There's our Jaguar, and there's our Mustang. All right, so they didn't totally forget about these models. We'll click on the Mustang. Yeah, that's kind of weird. It's like really dark at the top. It really is like a winter's night. So this just has the top of it is a cherry blossom top. The rest of the body is alder, and pretty traditional outside of that. The dynamic vibrato, the 210R radius, which is in between 7.25 and 9.5. Very common for Japanese brands to do that, and I actually agree with them. I think it's the perfect in between. And these are just crafts, artsy, really artsy, beautiful instruments. But super dark on the top. Yeah. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. And I think, oh, goo. Exotic camphor. Now, this will be weird. The only reason I know what I've ever heard of camphor is a movie called Totoro. My neighbor Totoro, my friend Totoro. It's a Studio Ghibli movie, and when they moved into their new house, they had a gigantic camphor tree that Totoro lived in. None of you will understand what I'm talking about, but yeah, my kid loves that movie. It's a fantastic one if you have little ones. But these are wild looking. 3 of these each. So camphor, Hinoki. I'm not sure what Hinoki would translate to. But the top is a camphor. Wenge fingerboard. Oh, this thing is wild. This thing is wild. What? Hold on. Hold on. That neck is nuts. This is crazy. Beautiful. Beautiful instruments, man. Again, I don't think I'm going to be buying any of these. I like flashy stuff, but this is just like, I don't know, this is over the top. But from like a builder's perspective, oof, that's sheer art. Yeah, there we go. Domestically produced wood. That's why it was in Totoro. Wild. Absolutely wild. And then more of the camphor trees again. And then, oh my God, we're at the exotic wood collection, but are these just for bass guitars? If they are, we're just going to skip them. No offense. I'll click on that one real quick just because purple caught my eye. Scroll down. That's such a wild finish. That really is. So only purple on the top. All right. Let me go back. We'll check on the chat real quick before we go on. We got two major ones left. I know that the format to this is weird because I'm looking at most of these for the first time with you guys. And I also know that these aren't typically guitars that we check out as far as the aesthetics of them. But I really appreciate that these are hand-built guitars, that they really put their thought into their one-year guitar models. They don't make many of them. They don't make many guitars in general over the course of any given year. And I like to see that some of the decisions they make on it. You're turning Japanese? I pretty much I am. What is the neck radius on the HSS strap? I believe that's a compound. 10 to 14. We can double check in a second. You have a Duke Standard. There you go. Very nice. And that was long before they started. Actually, no. When did the JE line start? The JE line was the first one. Those were made in the Philippines. And then later they did the JT, which is the ones that some of these that we're looking at. The Japan tune-up series. Those are no longer made in the Philippines. But yeah, they just released the Bacchus Duke in the Japan tune-up series at the last show in Les Paul custom colors. So you had the white and the black, but those Dukes are awesome, man. Flame maple, good stuff. Love it. Absolutely love it. All right. Let's see what else we got. That leaves us with two. There won't be many of these. Now, the Rosette. Now, what's interesting here is these were only ever offered as a Stratocaster prior to this year. But, as we're seeing, hold on, Telecaster shape. Now, all of these guitars, these are the most inexpensive, by the way. These have a different kind of headstock. However, ash body, it's a thin line. These has the Beano pickups. A Beano in the neck and a VT1 in the bridge. That's really cool. These things are typically really light. 310R radius, so we're looking at a 12-inch radius if we're going to the Imperial credit system. Hard shell case and a lacquer finish. It's a pretty basic looking guitar, but in practice, I bet that thing is so stable. Oh, it's got the luminescent dots. Make things a little bit easier if you're playing at night or on a stage. Really pretty. And this is, again, the first time I've ever seen them do it in a Telecaster shape. It's typically Stratocaster, which I'm sure they will have. And then they have exotic collections of it. You know what? That kind of looks like our Albatross a little bit. Zeracoat, though, instead of Wenge. Man, wood's so, like, I'm such a fool when it comes to, like, once you're really talking about these high-end stuff, you could trick me pretty easily with this stuff. That looks great. Same thing on this, another 12-inch radius. So this is kind of like a mix. It's like a hybrid design. And just so we're clear, this is a bolt-on neck with the no neck plate. Again, the screws are recessed into the body. And I haven't forgotten about your Virtuoso series. And the reason why we're not going to click right back to it is because I would be willing to bet the farm, so to speak, that once we get into the premium guitars, which is like the really wild designs, we'll see at least one modern Virtuoso, and I'll check the scale length on that, or the radius on that. Handwritten head logo. Pretty cool. And that's a wild finish. So only Telecaster it looks like. And I'll just look at this one. There's only one of these. That is such a cool finish. You know, it's an odd design choice here with the pinkish pickup cover. But, yeah, you know, take your own liberties. I don't run the guitar company. And the six saddle bridge, you guys. I know you're going for tuning perfection here, but I'd much prefer the 3 saddle. Anyways, now we're at the fun stuff. This is the premium. This is their best of the best. These are standards. These are not virtuosos. These are just premium models. So these are pretty much everything that we're going to see on this page will be a one of one. So we'll go real slow. They share all the same specs of the ones that we were looking at earlier as far as scale length and things of that nature and radius. Outside of, there are a few designations we'll be able to see here. Like you can see 6-point trem bridge on this one, 6-point on that one. That should mean we're close to the 2 points. Go over to the Telecasters. Whoa. That is a crazy finish. Spalted horse chestnut top. I think that would look a bit better with rosewood. But that's a wild top. That is freaking crazy. Yeah, maple fingerboard. And yep, the 7 or the 8 1/4 roughly, or 8.14 radius, 210R. That's just a wild top. I just wanted to look at that real quick. Now, we're looking for a modern Virtuoso. Oh, okay. So they have thin line strats. I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. Sorry about that. So thin line strats. Okay, this is a modern Virtuoso. This is one of the ones that we were asked about. Woo. These special runs are a 210R. So color me incorrect on those. So that's in between the vintage radius and a modern radius. But I know that the production models of these, there are some that have flatter boards, and I believe they've offered them. Yeah, they have. I've seen them before with a compound. Huh. That's really interesting. Yeah, they really don't spare any expense with these guitars. Body's slightly altered. The pickguard, you can give it away right there to not infringe on the big F. Wow. 425,000 yen. Like, that's just, this is gnarly, dude. Let me check on the chat, see what you guys are saying. Because I'm just talking to myself. I can't see what you guys are saying here. Top load those tellies. I dig the telly with the 6 saddle bridge. Awesome. I can't check the link. Your link doesn't show up. Links never show up on here. They never show up on here. I apologize about that. But I believe it from Ishibashi. They still get in good stuff there from time to time. There hasn't been that one guitar that's really jumped out at me yet, though. I wasn't expecting it. And as I say that, I think that's really nice. That Telecaster. Man, it's like a pink ocean. Go back here. What do you guys think about that? I like that a lot. I like that a real lot. That's a beaut. Sorry. Tummy cut. Oh, that neck looked gorgeous though. We almost skipped that. That would have been a foolish mistake. And a lot of other kind of unique designs here with tellies. And that's a burl. Ooh, the thin lines. That's a nice thin line. And then more gradations. I'm trying not to click on all the guitars because I kind of feel bad. But if you notice here, the price difference between a thin line and a typical solid body here is 50,000 yen in this instance. And again, these are all one of ones. Now that's probably my pick of the litter so far. P90 in the neck, semi-hollow, with like a red to pink horse chestnut top on it. Oof. This has the in-between vintage and modern radius, like the rest of the ones we've seen here. No tummy cut. Yeah, I think. Ooh. I think this is my pick of the show thus far. But there are some styles of instrument that this brand makes that I've not seen in this show yet that might sway my decision. But that's gorgeous. A much lighter pink version with no F-holes. Just rare Jazz Masters. JP would love that. I'll send him that one after we're done. There's another one I already did send him. I cheated. I saw it in advance. But a thin line Jazz Master. We'll click that real quick. You don't see one of these every day. Now, my question is this. Like, I don't know. Why can't Fender do this? Like, what's stopping them from making guitars this cool? Like, when I was a kid and Fender's custom shop really first started, like, you would find these sorts of finishes and like really exotic woods and cool specs and trying to take chances. And that's what I associate with custom shop guitars. And it's strange to me now. Ooh, that's a thermo maple neck on it. Yeah, that's been baked. But now when I look at like high-end Fender custom shop guitars, for the most part, the overwhelming majority, they're just like, it's just no innovation to them. It's just relics. So got Mojo Tone pickups. That's a beaut. I don't necessarily love the black pickguard on a Jazz Master, but I think on that model it works pretty good. Shame you didn't make one of those in the pink. Only one Mustang and only one Jaguar. We'll click on this one Burl. We'll just make sure. 310R. Okay, so we already have two different radiuses. So that one was that one offshoot was a 210R. This is a 12-inch radius on this version of it. So on the non-traditional ones, holy crap, that is really cool. Amazing. Amazing. Basses. Are we at the end? We're not at the end. The good stuff's got to be hiding. I know it is. There it is. And ladies and gentlemen, we have our winner. That is my pick of the litter. That is what I want for my 40th birthday. Oh, man. That is the best looking Les Paul. Oh, and it even has like a practical cutaway. It'll actually function because they actually know what they're doing with design. Jesus. All right. They only made one of these. 490,000 yen. That's expensive. That is expensive, but that is by far my favorite guitar that I've seen today. By far. What? In addition, this model has a semi-hollow structure, so it's an ES Les Paul. Oh, no. Oh, no. Mojo tones, the 59s. Those are great pickups. I have those in the Albatross. Oh, no. Oh, no. Well, show's over. And some other Les Pauls. Or single cuts. We'll click one other one. I want to see if this one is also a semi-hollow body. Yeah, this is also a semi-hollow. Man. They crushed with these this year. They crushed. All right, I think we're at the end. We're at the V's. I already sent one of these V's to a buddy of mine. I'll show you which one I sent. He loves pink guitars. Jescar Fret, same 59 clones, Mojo tones. Pink dyed Tochi. I can never play a V. I don't care who makes it. But hey man, you like hot pink. And I know he does. That's for him. All right, guys. We got to be at the end. Oh, that's a beautiful logo. It kind of comes up off the top of the headstock itself. Jesus. That is so over the top. What is that? Is it a zebra wood back? Yeah, he's going to love this thing. Yeah, he's going to love this thing. All right. There's no way there's more. Okay, and these are the rosettes. These are the Stratocaster versions of the guitars I went over earlier. That's it. That's the end. We're done. I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry. Oh, I mean, it's not about that. I'm telling you, it literally, no matter what you do, it's not going to pop up. The way that my chat is enabled, it's just not going to pop up. You could post it via any link. No links pop up in here. The only people that could post links are myself and myself. A while ago we had somebody. This is off topic, but it was a bad thing. Somebody came in with a bunch of bots, and they were posting. I think they were trying to get me banned for some reason, but it was a lot of very inappropriate stuff. That if anybody clicked on it, it would have been a disaster. So I did to make it as strict as possible in the settings of YouTube. If you want to send me an email of it, you can. but there's no way it's going to show up in the chat. Music.com. There you go. So you can shoot me an email. That's fine. That's fine. But yeah, no, just the way that the chat itself works is not going to work. All right, let me catch up here. Any idea of price conversion to dollars? Right now, everything's really cheap. Everything's really cheap. They are making some swag. It depends on which models we're going here. So if I want that Les Paul. I don't ask you guys for anything. Make it happen. Yeah. So let me see. I think that one was like $490. That's really expensive. Yen to USD, even with the dollar down. Yeah, that's $3,250, roughly, for that one. Now, some of the other ones were around 300,000 yen. Right now, current conversion rate, that's under $2,000. So a lot of those that you saw, now keep this in perspective. These are all one of one, handmade guitars with no CNC machines, with crazy wood specs, high quality components. After tax, you're not that far off from an American professional too, because you're not going to pay tax buying from Japan. You'll pay an import duty, but you're not going to pay sales tax. I don't know. To me, it's a no-brainer. Even if we compare that with like an American vintage, like the American vintage Jazzmaster is $2,500 new. The problem with one of these is you have to really like they're fantastic. I love the ones I have, but reselling them it would be very difficult. That's why I don't buy them to resell. I try to find ones that I know I'm gonna like, because they don't have the same kind of appeal as a Fender or a Gibson on the resale market. You could have a far better guitar, and that's not limited to just Momos or Momose or Deviser or 77 or whatever brand you're talking about. Tokai, Navigator, whatever. Saito guitars, Moon, PGM, Van Zant, Killer, Cruise. So many brands out there that make good stuff. Tees guitars, G7s. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how good it is if you're trying to sell it in America or the EU, and nobody knows what it is. Because they're going to look at it like, well, if I ever need to sell this too, I'm going to have a nightmare trying to sell it. And the fact that everything is done online these days, it's not like you can be like, come and try it. Because if people played these guitars in person, I'm sure many more of you would be ordering guitars like what I have. Like the 77, the Albatross, the Stork, or the Momose, the Jaguar. That thing is so good. I'm sure that more would be purchased by more people. But it is a decent price, but it could be a gamble for some people, because if it's not exactly what you want, first of all, you're not going to return it to Japan. Good luck with that, especially one of ones. And trying to find a buyer for it's going to be rough. However, that being said, for me, well worth it. Well worth the risk. Well worth the endeavor here. You're chasing an Ornets. Those are good too. Definitely agree. I definitely agree with that. All right. I got to figure out what shop is getting this guitar. Now, here's the real problem. There was one of these. I got to find who's getting this in Japan. And I got to get in contact with them. I got to see what we can do. I have a feeling, though, I might already be beat. This might already have sold. That is like the perfect Les Paul. And the fact that it's an ES style Les Paul on top of that, so it's not going to be very heavy. If I was designing a Les Paul, that is what I would design for myself. Wow. I could cry. All right. You guys get the point. You guys get the point. I go back to playing my Fenders. So what did you guys think of this? It's always fun to do this. I do have fun doing this. It's something different. It's once a year, and I love this brand. I love these people, and they just make the most killer guitars. They really do. And any kind of awareness I could bring to that company for other people that may have never heard of them, I'd like to do that for them. There's nothing in it for me other than sharing with you guys just how good they are. And they are that good. They really are. I got to close the window. I keep looking at that guitar. That's how you know you're in trouble. I like the Tellys. But when I saw the blue one, I was like, oh no. Oh no, get it, dude. You say it like it's so simple. First of all, it's Christmas time. Okay? It's Christmas time. Papa's not buying himself something like that. Hey, I gotta take care of the little one. I gotta take care of the family. I take care of trips and all that. It's really bad timing. It's really bad timing. But yeah, I don't know. I'd have to sell something pretty substantial as a kind of trade-off here to get that. But who knows? I've done crazier things. I've absolutely done crazier things. But honestly, I'm assuming that's sold. Something like that, I assume is sold. Like really quickly. Because this has already been out for about 6 hours at this point. This is when the website launched in Japan. And I don't know. I'm going to reach out though. I'll see what's up with that. But that's it. That's all I wanted to do today. I just wanted to go over the Deviser one-day guitar show for 2023. I thought we found some cool stuff. So, new snow tires. I don't need snow tires. I live in Florida, which is good. But yeah, no, actually the car does need some money into it. However, that's neither here nor there. We don't need to go over all that. Either way, that is a gorgeous Les Paul. A lot of amazing things. I love the idea of the thin line Jazz Masters. Not the first time they've done that. They've also done thin line Jaguars in the past. And I believe I saw one thin line Mustangs. That's pretty cool. But really not necessary on a Mustang. Those are already featherweights. It's just super overkill. It's like 4 pounds. It's like an acoustic. You're never even going to know you're holding it. But thank you all for watching. Tomorrow there will be a video. And we got a lot to go over. Just like I'm really backlogged, and everybody in the house is now like extremely sick except me. So I'm gonna try and quarantine myself in here, make sure everybody's taken care of, but did not get myself sick because I got a lot to do. But thank you guys. We have some fun stuff coming up over the weekend. Maybe you'll find tomorrow's video interesting as well. It's already done, believe it or not. If we weren't gonna do this today, it would have come up today. Thank you for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day, no matter where you are in the world. And I'll see you tomorrow. After that, I'll see you on Thursday for the regular live stream. We'll talk about all sorts of other stuff, like American guitars. Boo. Love you guys. Take it easy.